All right, Shalom. First and foremost, want to give all praises and all glory to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Want to give double honors to the apostles of great milestone and do rule well. Salutations to the men of the hopeful and sincere elect. This is your brother Makazar from the Trinidad camp. Want to do all of the edification for the elect's sake. And the name of this lesson would be Taboo versus Doctrine. All right. And when you look up the word taboo, it means something improper or unacceptable when it comes to society. All right. And, you know, there are a lot of things that in society that they look down on or they frown on, or as they will view it as taboo or unacceptable, when guess what? It's according to the laws of the Most High that, you know, there's no problem with it. But according to how you was raised in this society under Esau, all right, the effeminate Esau, you know, they would have things that lawful in the eyes of the Most High as unlawful in his kingdom. Basically, Esau wants to be anti the Most High, or as the scripture said, the Antichrist, or Antichrist, because it never said the Antichrist, it said Antichrist. All right, so there are many Antichrists, all right, or anti-Mashiach, as we know him. This is Isaiah chapter 24:5. It says, the earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant. All right, so this world done basically try to live adverse to the laws of the Most High. They do everything, you know, opposite to the laws of the Most High. Where the Most High say yes, they say no. Where the Most High says no, they say yes. Just like, you know, the Most High, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, he says 2 men or 2 women not supposed to, you know, lie with each other, not supposed to have sex with each other. But in this kingdom, you know, it's acceptable. But to the Most High, it's taboo. It's unacceptable. It's unlawful. All right. In according to the scriptures, you know, women supposed to be serving their men. Men supposed to be ruling over the women. But in this kingdom, you know, it's taboo. It's unacceptable. Now you can't be, you know, bowing down to your man. You can't, you know, cook food and feed the man before the children. The children have to eat food, eat first. All right. So, you know, serving a man is almost taboo. As the scripture said in Genesis chapter 3:16, it says, you know, he shall rule over thee. They see that as taboo. All right. But the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, he coming to change all that. He coming to do away with all the things in this world that are corrupt. All right. They corrupted the knowledge of the Most High. They corrupted the scriptures. All right, because as I said, the things that lawful in the sight of the Most High, they made it unlawful, and things that unlawful in the sight of the Most High, they made it lawful. All right, homosexuality, bestiality, they made it lawful. Cross-dressing. All right, in the case of, you know, like marrying under 18. All right, that is taboo. All right, when they will say that a girl becomes a woman at the age 18. So I guess the difference between a woman and a child is 1 second. According to Esau, the difference between a woman and a child is 1 second. Because up until her 17th birthday, up until her 18th birthday, at 11:59 a.m. Did I say it right? No, 11:59 p.m. My bad. At the end of her 17th birthday, heading to the 18th birthday, at 11:59 p.m. She's still a child. But as the clock strikes 12, at 12 a.m. on her 18th birthday, she magically becomes a woman. So what separates a woman from a child is 1 second, according to Esau. But according to the Most High, her body goes through a change, which is called puberty. When they look at the word puberty, means, you know, adulthood, young adult. That is when a girl becomes a woman, going through her puberty, her adolescent ages. That is her becoming a woman. And she's ready for marriage. That's when you look up the word a maid, it says a young woman of marriageable age. The scripture says if a man find a damsel that is not betrothed to a man and lay hold on her, lie with her, he shall endow her to be his wife. When you look up the word damsel, means a young woman of marriageable age. In Luke 5, it says what the damsel was 12 years old. This woman of marriageable age was 12 years old. Women back there used to marry as young as 12. From the time you start seeing your periods, you are able to be married. And usually you'll be married to an older man in his 30s or in his 40s or even older. And that is lawful, not was lawful. It is still lawful in the sight of the Most High, but it was customs kept back in Israel in the ancient times. But people will say, no, that is long time. We don't do that anymore. Now you can't change the ways of the Most High. All right? You can't change. The scriptures talk about taking away from the book. All right? So a young woman at the age of 12, 13, 14, or even up to 18 or 17 getting married, that is taboo. It's unacceptable in this kingdom. Let alone marrying a young woman, even if she turns 18. They said she's now legal. She's now a woman. If this said 18-year-old woman was to marry a 40 or 50-year-old man, they would frown on her. They were like, why you with this old guy? Find someone your age. Everything done tripped up. It done, as you know, as the Fresh Prince said, you know, it done turn upside down. All right? That is what they did. They changed the ordinances. They changed the ordinance of the Most High, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. It says, therefore the curse had devoured the earth. Because they changed everything. They changed everything upside down. The scripture said he will seek to change laws and times. There are a lot of things that are unacceptable in this kingdom that are lawful in the sight of the Most High. So they made taboo the scriptures of the Most High. They made taboo the doctrine. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 3 and verse 18. It says, let no man deceive himself. If any man among you seemeth to be wise in this world, let him become a fool that he may be wise. You have to unlearn what you learned. Because a lot of you men come in the truth or come in the camps with emotions from the world that you picked up from your mother, from these women. All right? And James Brown said there's a man's world. This is not a man's world. It's a woman's world. There's an effeminate kingdom. All right? Because you could actually see, you know, the double standards of this kingdom, where, you know, like one time I saw on Facebook here in Trinidad, you know, a man was caught stealing, you know, and everybody came down at him. They came against him. It's like, why you don't go and look for work? You know, they said all kind of things, all kind of derogatory things against him. But then a while after, a woman was caught stealing, and they was like, you know, is a woman, why you have to, you know, videotape and put on Facebook? Suppose she didn't have money. Suppose she was trying to feed her children, and, you know, they gathered groceries and took for this woman. So what about the man that was probably trying to feed his children? Suppose he had 4 children to feed and couldn't. Suppose this woman had none, but she was just trying to steal, you know, trying just to sell to make some money. All right? Both of them trying to make money, but suppose the man's situation was more dire. It shows the double standard in this kingdom, where they will take things that are right and turn it into wrong, and things that are wrong and turn it into right. As the scripture said, they don't know the left from the right. So to become wise, you have to unlearn the things that you learn. You can't come in the camps with the emotions of the world, where, as the apostles did a series back then, they said the nastiness of the scriptures. All right? If you come in the truth and realize customs that we kept that lawful in the sight of the Most High, then you will say, nah, you ain't doing that. Many GMS going off. Nah, not the many GMS going off when the apostles talk about, rape being lawful. Yes, it is lawful. It is lawful. You're taking somebody by force as long as she's not married. If she's married, then therefore it is adultery. But as long as she's not married, then that woman have to be your wife. All right? But the reason they taboo the scriptures is because they don't understand the scriptures. All right? And a lot of you people who making the doctrine taboo, a lot of you gonna be destroyed. All right? The scripture said the word preached did not profit them. It says, verse 19, it says, for the wisdom of this world is foolishness with Yahweh. It's wrong for a woman to marry, for a young woman of marriageable age from between the ages of 13 to 18 to get married. Doesn't matter the age of the man, to get married. It's wrong according to this society. But it's right for a 12-year-old boy to cut his prick off and become a woman. To dress like a woman. It's right. For the wisdom of this world is foolishness with Yahweh, for it is written, he taketh the wise in their own craftiness. Just like a man having multiple wives. It's lawful. A lot of people know it's lawful. They would read the Bible and say, well, they know it's right, but they're not doing it. They don't believe in it. So why are you trying to selectively choose what scriptures to follow or not? Especially you women. Guess what? The time's coming where you women wouldn't even have a say. You women like to open your big mouths too much. And the time's coming when you have a shimmy or shaking and put you women in your old place. Where you wouldn't have a say. Where you wouldn't care if a man have multiple wives. You would just be happy that a man took you to be his wife. It's taboo for a man to have more than one wife in this kingdom. But according to the scriptures, it is lawful. It is lawful. You keep doing it over and over. Basically, you're trying to do away with the doctrine. You're trying to do away with the Bible on the whole because you find it to you, it don't make sense. To you, it don't make sense. That is why you're trying to change the things written in the book. All right? That is why you're trying to change the things written in the book. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 14 and verse 34. It says, therefore, if so be that you will subdue your own understanding that I picked up in the world, you have to subdue it. And reform your hearts, make it over, become new. All right? You become a fool to become wise. Ye shall be kept alive, and after death shall obtain mercy. But you have to reform your hearts. You have to unlearn the wickedness of this world. Unlearn the things that you were indoctrinated with from since a child. You have to unlearn these things. That is the only how you're going to grow in this truth. All right? And speaking about child, just like disciplining your children. Now all of a sudden, it's unlawful, it's taboo to discipline your child. The scripture says, beat thy son. For if thou beatest him, thou shalt not kill him, but thou shalt save his soul from hell. See, he that loves his child, beateth him. But according to this system, if you beat your child, you could get locked up. It's taboo. It's unacceptable to beat your children. Then guess what? That is why the scripture says menstruous women shall bring forth monsters. All right? Because these children growing up now guess what? My children, they can't throw tantrums. I'm the man of the house. I'm the one who throws the tantrum. You can't throw no tantrum. All right? I will never let my children rule over me. All right? You see a lot of videos, with children ruling over their parents, talking to them however they want, screaming at, not with me. All right? And that is what Esau want. Esau trying to, disrupt the house. As the scripture said, they subvert whole houses. That is the aim, to destroy the family. And you Israelites, you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, you following along with it. You love this kingdom. The scripture says they love not oppression. That is an oppressive lifestyle, to have your children ruling over you. Servants to your own children. This is Job chapter 21 and verse 14. It says, therefore they say unto Yahweh, depart from us, for we desire not the knowledge of thy ways. And that is what they said. That is why they make these scriptures taboo. Because they don't desire the ways of the Most High. They say they love God. We love God. We love Jesus. All right. Don't even know that his name is Yahweh Shai. All right. They say they love him, as the scriptures say, these people honoreth me with their mouth, but their hearts are far from me. Their heart goeth after their covetousness. The heart goeth after their covetousness. That is why they make the scriptures taboo, so that they could feel better for doing the wickedness. As the scripture says, because you run not with them with the same excess of right, they speak evil of you. All right? They speak evil of you. And they make the scriptures taboo. What things they don't like, they say, nah, unacceptable. We're not doing that. That is the old times. That is for people back then. That is not for us. But guess what? The scriptures never changed. That's why it says walk in the old paths. It says walk in the old paths, which is the good way. We're going to find rest for your souls. But they said, well, we will not walk therein. They rather walk in the so-called new paths, doing all abominations. All right? And the scripture said, O wicked imagination, whence comest thou? They rather do wickedness. As the scripture said, Jeremiah 8:3, death shall be chosen rather than life. And they choose death over life by making the scriptures taboo and turning away from just like, Lord Yahweh shall come to only save the tribes of Israel. That's taboo. That's unacceptable. The Lord have to save all people. And just because of this, you disbelieve the scriptures, and the scripture said they could not enter in because of unbelief. And because you making the scriptures taboo, you will never enter because you don't believe in the scriptures. You don't believe in the scriptures. And that is why the Lord Yahweh Shai have to come and destroy 2/3 of his people. Because they don't corrupt. They corrupt. There's no change in them. The scripture says, this iniquity shall not pass on you till you die. This is the final precept here. This is Jeremiah chapter 5 and verse 4. It says, matter of fact, I'll read chapter 4. I'll read verse 14. Jeremiah chapter 4 and verse 14. It says, O Jerusalem, wash thy heart from wickedness. All right? By making the scriptures taboo, by making the things that the Most High said to be unlawful or to be unclean, clean. You taking the things that the Most High made unclean to make them clean. All right? The Lord saying to wash yourself from wickedness, that thou mayest be saved. How long shall thy vain thoughts lodge within thee? How long? Jeremiah 5 and 4, the final precept, it says, therefore I said, surely these are poor, they are foolish. It says what? My people are destroyed for their lack of knowledge, because they reject knowledge. It says they are foolish. They know not the way of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, nor the judgment of their God. They don't know. They don't know. They are foolish. And that is why the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai coming to destroy them. Because they reject his knowledge. He sent his prophets. 2 Chronicles chapter 32 and verse 15. He sent his prophets early, but they mocked and scoffed. So guess what? The Lord going to bring destruction upon them. And in the kingdom, they're going to come back in their right minds. And no longer will the scriptures be taboo. All right? So with that, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Shemel Shai. I want to give double honors to the apostles of great milestone that do rule well. Salutations to the men of the hopeful and sincere elect. This is your brother Makaza from Trend.com saying Shalom and stay strong. Hold fast. We almost out. Shalom.